inside draw to hold some position. She's got a great hope.
Yeah, she really does. I've loved her. Every time I've seen her in the yard, she covers the ground beautifully. She's all dappled up. She's looking absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, the more we're getting into these horses, the better and better they're looking.
Flying Embers, Chad Schofield, John Thompson.
Yep, nice mare. I keep saying it sets up well. Although a little wary of her better form is on softer tracks, if anything.
Well, that's the only knock, but in terms of that, she's at a top.
Miss Bustlinger, another one for Chris Lees, Dummy Berry.
Well behind Machelate, we think that's the form, and she backed it up for a win at Muswellbrook last start. She's racing a lot more consistently these days.
She's really come of age in her last few, hasn't she? She's racing a lot more better. She's the only thing she's had 7 tries at this track and never placed. That's the only knock.
Miss Space Girl, Sam Clipperton, Richard and Will Friedman.
Tough competitor at this level, but she just might be a length or 2 off them.
Looks well, but you're right, probably a bit harder than what she's been going running.
Harry's Bar, John Van Overmere, Paul Murray.
Yeah, she'll go back to her old style of going forward today. Just got to run the finish off at the 1400. She's going to look the winner for a while, but I think the 1400 is a huge query for her.
Yeah, she'll be out in the front doing her thing. She'll be on pace. That might suit her with the way some of these races have been run.
And the second runner for Damien Lane is Oakfield Satin and a Roper.
Hit the line nicely first up behind Midnight Opal, but she's genuine, but the sticky draw doesn't help.
I love what she did late. She was really attacking the line strong there first up, so that would have just brought her on superbly.
These horses have qualified all over our provincial circuits here in New South Wales, 5 tracks, so we bring a lot of form together here, Corey, but listening to Shani, how well they're all presented.
They all looked absolutely terrific. I'm with Buffalo though. I'm banking on Nash to give this horse a good ride or get a good run from that tricky draw. He's just got to find a backside. I know he's going to be in the second half of the field, but if he gets any type of luck from that tricky draw, he was a standout for mine. He looked terrific.
Okay, Shani, how did you narrow this down?
Oh, I didn't know. It's really, really tricky. I could put 5 on top. I'm going to go Oakfield Jupiter because I've just seen her present so well so many times, and she deserves a race like this. I also loved Impercent as well from the yard.
I am 5, 8, 10 and 1. I'm tipping Machelate here. He's just got the best form. That's the simple thing about it. He's versatile. He can go forward, and he comes off a good win last start. I think Oi 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 is the danger. With any luck, just slotting into the right spot here. Oakfield Jupiter finds a good spot just off the speed here and should be around the mark, and 1 Lord of Biscay best next best. 5, 8, 10 and 1, Tim.
I completely agree with you, Ron. I think Machelate should be favourite, but it won't be favourite because Lord of Biscay has been heavily backed and will be the market mover. Very short on the world pool, 265. At all the money fixed odds is for it. $6 I put up on Wednesday. It was $4.60 this morning, $4.60 into $3.60 today. It is nearly 40% of our total fixed odds hold. So it's been a big go. Very similar betting to last year when Lord of Biscay was second favourite in the morning. It started favourite. Machelate was favourite in the morning. It started second favourite. Machelate got the verdict last year. Will it be the same again this year? We'll wait and see, but it's been a big drift for Machelate this morning. $2.70 out to $4. Quite long on the world pool. I don't think you'll get any better than $4. We are just starting to write some bets for Machelate at the $4, but to this point, it's been pretty much one-way traffic for the favourite. Buffalo's a little bit of a trim up. $8 Wednesday, $9.50 at one stage this morning. It's back into $8, so it's met with some support. Wee on the whole has been soft, 6 out to $8.50. Some bets, Oakfield Jupiter, 14 into 13. Il Pasero, a $17 chance. A couple of roughies that have firmed at longer odds. Flying Embers, 26 into 18 since Wednesday. Miss Bustlinger, 51 into 26 since Wednesday. And Harry's Bar, 101 into 34 since Wednesday. So there are a couple of roughies that have been spec'd, but most of the focus is to the top of the market. A drifting second favourite Machelate and a very heavily backed favourite Lord of Biscay. Scenes of last year when it was heavily backed favourite and ran second, but 285 on the world pool, 360 fixed odds. It's pretty much the only one we're laying with Machelate the drifter.
Thank you, Tim. So they're over behind the gates here at the 1400, the Provincial-Midway Championships. Won in its first year by the late great Bede Murray with Sure and Fast, and his son Paul has a runner here in Harry's Bar, trying to do what his dad did. Kim Waugh has tried and tried to win this race. He's won many heats. And this would be a great moment in her career if Mogul Monarch can win this year's Provincial Midway final. The race that has been dominated by Chris Lees. There's 5 wins in this series. And there's one of Chris's going in. Imposant, 3rd last year. In fact, we've got the trifecta from last year. Machelate, Lord of Biscay and Imposant. They ran 1, 2, 3. Loading in well. Only a few more out. Final update with Tim Ryan from Tab.
Favourite firms again, Lord of Biscay 360 into 350. Outside of that, there's been a move for Oakfield Jupiter, 13 into 10 just in the last 60 seconds. So that's in from 14 this morning. So some very late money Oakfield Jupiter, but Fave continues to be well backed, Lord of Biscay.
Only a few out. This will bring us towards our first Group 1 of the day. The Australian Oaks is up next as race 5, following the Provincial Midway Championships final.
Moves up and completes the line, and they're ready to run for $1 million in the Provincial Midway Championship final. They're set. Gates clang back and they're off and racing now, and Wee bounded out beautifully. Ridden for speed with Harry's Bar. Machelate wide early. He's beaten for pace, running about 6th. It's Wee dashing to the front, goes clear from Mogul Monarch. Harry's Bar, Machelate working hard. He's striding up on the outside, taking closer order. Just behind them was Oakfield Jupiter. Il Pasiro off the track. Then Lord of Biscay. He settles midfield from Flying Embers. Miss Buslinger, Octodelago. Further back was Miss Space Girl. They were trailed by Midnight Opal. Drifting back then Impotent, followed by Oakfield Jupiter, and Buffalo sees them all. Mogul Monarch the leader out to the 650 metre mark, half a length in front of Machelate. He's up there running second. Il Pasiro's 3 wide. Oakfield Jupiter gets a nice run. So does Wee, and Buffalo a bit of cover from the wide draw. He's trying to track up into the race, but he's still last as they track around the home turn. Inside the 400 metres, Mogul Monarch, Machelate, Wee, Oakfield Jupiter held up. Lord of Biscay's going for a tight run and squeezing through. He's starting to run on with Harry's Bar Impotent. 200 to go. Wee hit the front, but Lord of Biscay is mowing turf. Surges up on the outside and takes the lead. And Lord of Biscay goes one better than last year. Another one for Chris Lees. Lord of Biscay beat the stablemate Impotent. Photo 3rd. Machelate, Harry's Bar, and Buffalo was good from well back. He was just cruelled by the draw. Then Oakfield Jupiter, Miss Space Girl, followed by Miss Buslinger. Further back was Wee, Octodelago. Next in the run when they pull up was Mogul Monarch, just ahead of those Midnight Opal, Il Pasiro, Oakfield Saturn, and Flying Embers.
Lord of Biscay turns the tables on Machelate from last year in the same race, and does it with style. Racing away, Chris Lees and James McDonald. Chris has now won this race 6 times. Lord of Biscay, James McDonald wins his 3rd Provincial Midway Championships. Chris Lees his 6th. Now, Imposant, who ran 3rd in this race last year, has run 2nd, and last year's winner Machelate is going to run 3rd. So the same trifecta in a different order, and Buffalo's going to get up and run 4th, 1956.
Yeah, great. It's been a great day for Chris in the past. He's won a Queen Elizabeth, he's won a Sydney Cup, and this is a well set up his team here, getting the Quinella here. But J-Mac just too good. We thought it was an even contest this, but he's just blown them away with a great ride.
He's had a really good time of it in this race.
Welcome back to Doom, but it's time to look at the horses